Hey guys, this is Kristen from KristenCoaching.com. Today we're going to be discussing money issues in relationships and what that looks like for couples. I think every couple has a different way of managing money, and each individual has a different way of managing money. You know, money problems in relationships are really common, and they happen to everybody because money, is so obviously prevalent in our society. It's something that we work for, that we have to think about a lot. We have to manage it. So it comes up oftentimes as actually a high stress for a couple to deal with, especially if you're short on money these days. It can be really hard. So I really wanted to make this video to validate for you that, money issues in relationships and how common that is for many couples to deal with. And I want to let you know that there are ways to manage it. There's ways to be able to have a conversation with your significant other ongoingly and figuring out a system in terms of money management that works for both of you. It can be really frustrating when one person has a certain way to do things when it comes to managing money and the partner has another way of doing it and it's completely different, and kind of figuring out a way that works for both people can be really hard, especially in kind of towards the beginning of a relationship when you first merge your monies together. It can be pretty complicated. So I have some tips and strategies on how to manage it, and hopefully it'll be helpful for you guys just in terms of how to go about it and what the best ways to deal with it are. The first thing is you have to figure out a time to talk about it with your significant other. It has to be a good time though. If you're coming home from work and you're super stressed and you're not feeling very well, it's not a good time to talk about money. It's a stressful conversation. It's a stressful topic to have for a lot of people. So it's important that both of you guys are in a good space to be able to talk about it. Make sure you're relaxed, make sure that you're feeling good, make sure that you allot some time to sit down and really talk about things that aren't working that you want to fix, but also acknowledge things that are working well in terms of your finances and your financial situation. Those can sometimes get you in a better mood to be able to engage in this conversation, ongoingly. Also, factor in your partner's suggestions. This can be really hard, especially it is for me. I like to think that I'm always right, but I know I'm not. And I also have realized, throughout my years of being in a relationship, that there's more than one right way to do things. And it's important to acknowledge that. So although I might have a system that works for me and feels right, my husband has a system for him that works and feels right. So it's really important that I need to be open to his suggestions and feedback of what works for him and the way that he's able to manage it. Because my way actually can be pretty confusing for him a lot of the times, and vice versa. His way is confusing for me sometimes. But there are ideas that I have and he has that does work for us and we can be open to. So I highly suggest that you are open with your significant other about their ideas and their suggestions in terms of money management and organization. It can just be very validating for your significant other to be receptive to whatever opinions that they have about it. It's a good way to have that communication really healthy and have that active listening skills healthy. Also, in any relationship, you have to set financial rules. Having budgets are really important. How much money are you going to be spending on extra stuff during the week? And just setting rules and limits so not one person in the relationship feels like the other person is maybe, taking advantage of the money situation. So it's important to have some rules and limits of what is okay to spend money on certain things and what isn't okay and how much. I think just having that dialogue about just money boundaries in general can be really helpful. That way it's not just like a free-for-all, and it's not so people are kind of guessing what they are allowed to do or what they aren't allowed to do. It's important that you're able to tell your partner what you're okay with and what you're not okay with, and vice versa, and come up with something that both of you are okay with. And also just be honest with your significant other about your financial stressors. Be honest with yourself and be honest just in the relationship, because it is stressful, and it's important to be able to just recognize that and accept it and not try to act like nothing is wrong or act like there's could be some other things that could be going on. Just be honest with yourself that this is a hard time and it's okay. And you have to just be able to communicate with your other half and make sure that you're dealing with it accordingly. Also, that being said, sometimes other things in our relationships can be not working well, and sometimes it's actually easier to blame it on financial stressors because that's always a factor. So make sure that when you are having this dialogue with your other half about finances, that there aren't other things that are bugging you about the relationship. If there are, make sure that you bring that into light and that into the table as well, because you want to bring any issues that you're having forward and not try to act like other things aren't there and just point it to the finances. Because yes, it is stressful, but if there's other things, be honest with yourself and your significant other about what those other things are so you can tackle it and make sure that it's not hidden so it becomes worse and worse over time. So that's just another 2 cents and some suggestions that I have for you guys. So hopefully that was helpful for you, and please feel free to write me below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll see you guys next time. You take care and have a good day. Bye.